I'm Alec Hanson, and I'm here in Lisle, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, about to spend the day with mortgage professional Melissa Guerra. Come with us as we give her a marketing makeover, radically transforming her social media and her marketing strategies. You're not going to want to miss this. This is brand new.
Look like it's time to rise and get in the game. Gonna change some branding, not afraid to fly. I can't even wait to finally touch down with the camera click. Let's light up that stage. Time to start your brand new golden age. It's your time to shine. Cameras on you. Brand new.
Here we are, Lisle, Illinois, about to surprise Melissa Guerra. Not surprise, she knows I'm coming, okay? I didn't just surprise her. But let's go say hi. Watch the door, watch the door. Melissa! Hello, everybody. What's going on?
Hi.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Are
Let's
you sure?
go.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think she's ready, but we're gonna have a fun day today. So I'm really excited
I'm
to get going.
excited.
Yeah?
I'm excited.
It's good weather, good times.
Yeah, great weather.
Great team.
Yeah, amazing team.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yes.
So you asked for this, just so we're clear.
I did.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Are you ready to go?
I'm as ready as I'll ever
You're
be.
like, no, I hate all this.
I
It's
do a little
lights,
bit.
It's terrible. Good. But it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be. This
Okay.
is the easy part. There's no
Okay.
filming yet. Like there's
Yeah.
no like lines and
There's
scripting.
no like
No.
eye blinking.
No.
previously.
no crazy eye blinking yet. Because here's the deal. When we start this whole process and
Okay.
we start to kind of try to understand how we're going to push our own reputation out into the world,
Right.
quote your brand, whatever
Yep.
you want to call it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mistakes people make early on, and the mistakes they make early on is they don't get really grounded in why they do what they do.
Right.
So have you back in the day, like the elevator pitch? Have you heard that before? Like give your elevator pitch, or what's your
Yeah.
UVP, like your unique
Right.
value proposition,
Right.
like from the '90s and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a game on that.
Oh.
Just we're good. You're in the nest.
Okay, go.
Because when we start to turn the camera on ourselves or start to talk, we really have to come back to like, why are we doing this?
Right.
Like, or else it just gets too hard.
Yes.
How many, like even in our business as mortgage people, like how many loan officers have you ever met in their careers where their business looks like this? It's like
Pretty much everyone.
every loan officer in the world, right?
Well, right. Yes. Absolutely.
So we're gonna fix that by
Okay.
getting focused on the foundation. So let's start with the
Okay.
easy questions.
Okay.
All right. So how long you been doing this game?
Okay. So I have been in the industry for about 30 years.
Okay. So you're brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I say industry because I started off as a realtor.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
How long were you a realtor for?
A few years, and I hated it.
Okay. So then you came to the worst side, the lower side?
I love it so much more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair to say that you have a lot of experience in your belt. You've done a lot of loans. You helped a lot of
Right.
people.
Right.
So this is one of my first favorite questions. If we were to poll
Okay.
all your past customers, we
Okay.
asked them a question, got them in the room, and we're like, hey, give me like 3 to 4 to 5 words to describe Melissa.
Oh, jeez.
What do you hope they say? Not what they're really going to say. We know what they're
Okay.
really going to say. But what
Well,
would
I
you like?
hope what I would want them to say,
Yeah.
and what they will say are pretty much,
The
you know,
same.
yeah, it's the same.
What do we got?
So I would just say that I was passionate.
Okay.
I did everything I could to get them into a home.
Okay.
They were well informed,
Oh, good.
and they got to hear just positivity the entire
I
time.
love that. Yeah. And would your referral partner say the same thing, or would they add any other words, like the realtors you work with?
Well, they may add that. I'm trying to think of the nice way instead of saying I'm on crack, but I'm usually going like 100 miles an hour at
Energetic.
all time. I speak really fast.
Enthusiastic?
I don't let them talk negatively.
Positive.
And yeah, I kind of am their cheerleader a little bit.
So these are perfect. Good start. See, you're crushing it already. It's easy.
Whatever.
Okay. Let's go another direction for a second. Why did you get into lending? Why?
So when I was a realtor, it was really, really tough in terms of lending, where we would be told something would be done and then it wouldn't. And back then, when they used to hand deliver those checks, remember that? Oh my gosh! And the courier would come, and I remember sitting I think the last straw was I was sitting at a table and I was told they were clear to close and they weren't. And as a realtor, and I think a lot of originators I think don't get that because they're not on both sides. But you have egg on your face. Like you referred this person and this person is saying like, I'm saying that they're the best. And we're sitting with their U-Haul packed and we're not closing. So I think at that point I realized like I need to get in this and I can be honest and I'm gonna be truthful and I'm gonna let everybody know, even when they don't. So like the funny running joke with a lot of my agents are that I call them and I tell them that there's something going on, and then essentially what happens is they are like, you're always going to work it out. Like I used to get worried and you would make me freak out and then you always work it out. So then they say to me, I always know you're going to figure it out. Don't worry. You've got this. And I'm like, that's even worse pressure than you just being like, man, like, okay, that sucks. Like, having a moment with me, they're like, no, you got this. You got this. And I'm like, damn it. And we do. We always do. But I panic because I don't ever want them to know if when we hit a roadblock that there's something
everywhere.
came up. Because, I mean, we're human, right? So either whether it's our mistake or the client's not telling us something, either way, it's on us, and we got to get it done. Got to figure out a way.
Okay, so you were having all this frustration as a realtor.
Correct.
And said, I can do this better than everybody else. I'll go crush it.
I really did.
Yeah.
I really said that.
And you proved it too, though. You came over here and did it.
I did.
Because there's a lot of people that talk the talk, and they get over here and they're like, oh, this is terrible.
It was really hard, though, and I
Yeah.
had a lot of people that helped me. But yeah, it was really, really hard.
Okay, so why did you stay after that?
I love it.
Well, okay, so but what parts do you love?
Oh gosh, I love creating home ownership for people. I love the constant challenge of trying to configure a loan and how to get them into it. That first time home buyer is, I mean, not that I don't like all buyers, but my first time home buyers.
Something special.
It really, really is. And also people that come here from different countries and they have this opportunity and, we take it for advantage of, take for granted, I should say, what we're allowed to do here in comparison to other countries. It's very difficult.
That's, what, I love that perspective. It's so true. And we get a little bit jaded, or we just get in the
100.
in the flow, and we don't realize how life-changing it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so that was perfect. Got that done. Let's go another direction now.
Okay.
As a working professional, what are the things that you value the strongest? What are the values that you really like? Are like non-negotiables for you? Like how you live your life, how you do your business?
Honesty, always. Even if it's not the best news, but how to deliver it with tact and understand that somebody else is receiving that and how they'll receive that, and making sure that we say that the best way we can, but they know we're in their corner, right? Because not everybody can get a loan right now. But they can if we help them. And so I think the biggest thing too, early on in my career, it's funny, I had wanted to leave for a minute because I wanted to go to nonprofit and I wanted to do all this stuff and go into law, and I enrolled in school and this is what I was going to do. And I was super successful. Like I was doing a lot of business, okay? My husband's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I just want to help you. He's like, do you know how many times you're on the phone and people say, Wells Fargo didn't call me back, and I can't say it, but eventually that's what was happening.
We'll bleep that out.
Well, we will. But how many people called that would go and apply for credit because their credit was so bad they weren't worth the phone call to say, hey, this is what's going on with your credit. But like, how many people are really taught in school about credit?
None.
And how many parents, maybe now more so for the generations that are coming up, but my generation, my parents never talked to me about credit. No. And, and it's just, that's, I think, the norm for so many. So a lot of people didn't realize one late pay could hurt them, or two late pays, or, and so to me, it's just kind of having that conversation and getting them in that position, and we don't give up on them, we just keep going. Yeah.
All right, so honesty with a big slice of empathy in there.
Yeah, oh really?
What else is your non-negotiable value for you guys?
Teamwork is huge for me.
Why?
Because nothing happens without a team. I am one person and I cannot do every facet of this business. So to my team, my personal team, I wouldn't be here without them. And I literally could cry right now because the amount of gratitude that I have for them having the passion for the work that we do is huge, and the amount of hours they put in. Look, I told you I was going to cry because it's
good. It's real.
This is what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so We've got honesty, teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a word up here though, positivity, and you hit it twice. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
a big part of what you like your life here?
They could tell you that when they were saying I'm a unicorn, that's a running joke because I don't like to hear negativity. I like
Yeah.
to spin that. So essentially, I'm considered to be a unicorn with rainbows, and they literally bought me a headband with a unicorn on
Yes.
there. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's even my colleagues, everybody kind of looks at it that way. But there's always a solution to something, and there's a positive way to look at it. So,
Why is positivity so important to you?
because when you put it in the universe, it comes to you. And so as you put that positivity, and if you can be that light for somebody else when they're going through a hard time with finances and so
Yeah.
forth, it will happen.
It all comes back to
Magic happens.
you. Yeah, positivity, I like that. Family.
Yes.
Are you a big family, small family, medium family?
I have a significantly medium-sized family, but a lot of friends as well, and
Ooh.
so
Kind of all
that are our
extends
family.
together?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of look at our family as friends, and I have a lot of support people in my life.
What words would they use to describe you? I mean, some similar ones, but I'm assuming there's also some other ones.
I feel like I'm pretty even keel.
Okay. Even keel.
I feel like I'm pretty consistent on who I am
Yeah.
in friendship and loyalty, and
Okay. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
good. I like it. I'll take it. Let's go like real high level for a second. Okay. Just like way out there.
Okay.
If we were having a celebration for Melissa's retirement from mortgage, like you were done.
I don't want to like
I know,
leave
I know,
ever, but
I know,
go ahead.
I know. But at some point, like maybe
Yeah.
you were like, maybe you stay involved, you do something different. But like,
Yeah.
what would you be like really excited if like as people were speaking like the legacy you were leaving? What would you be really excited if? What would it need to be? What would you want it to be?
Well, that I impacted them and was always there for them when they needed me in any kind of financial decision that they were making, and or not, just to share. I don't know. I think
Yeah, I mean it's like a giant question, right?
it
Like-
is a giant question because I'm never leaving.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
how many times I gotta say that? No, that I mean, I've just that I was thoughtful, caring, and that I brought them through the most stressful, important purchase of their entire life, essentially.
I love that.
And I set up their family for success.
Ooh, yeah. So a little legacy for the family. I like that too. So you're crushing this. This is easy. This is cake.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So one more huge question, and then we'll get to easier ones.
Okay.
And if you, everyone I ask this question typically stumbles through it. So like, don't expect, like I don't expect you to be like, here's the perfect answer. Like I don't think there is one.
Okay.
But like, for today,
Yeah.
what's your purpose? I told you it's like a,
No, I honestly know my purpose. It's to create wealth for other families. Generational wealth. And again, it goes back to that, people that come here from different countries.
you mentioned that twice. Why does that stick to you?
Because I'm a firstborn generation here. From my father. My mom's German, but my father is Mexican.
Yeah.
And he moved here in his 20s, and he was very successful. And I have a lot of family, obviously in Mexico, and knowing, and they do really well. But there's so many people who don't do well,
For sure.
and there's so many people that do not have the opportunity of home ownership.
Yeah.
They have to get permission to get a mortgage, and they have to put down like 50. But like, how do you do that making $2 an hour?
Yeah.
And the cost of homes are the same as here. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really not obtainable. I mean, then you wonder why people come here. It's the American dream.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
that's huge for me.
Yeah, I can tell.
But for women, single mothers, I don't want to like ever just stereotype other, but it's just that whole hand holding
Yeah.
and making sure that they're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
And that they're understanding And that's huge. Like, we do videos, we do a lot of things for our borrowers that a lot of other originators don't do. And one of them is, you know, we used to meet with everyone. And COVID really enhanced for us the opportunity to figure out a way to still deliver that service, but without going face to face. And so we decided to do a video, and it's not of us. It's literally every single pre-approval that goes out and or loan application is us going over line by line every single charge.
Yeah.
And people appreciate that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, here it is, just sign. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
We don't. I want you to know what you're doing and understand the process. And know your options, because you have options.
It's really cool.
So.
Okay, so we're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna go on a little journey here.
Okay.
I do this in every one of these sessions because I found this to be really helpful.
Okay.
In distilling down like all the things you care about, it can become very hard to see because it's just like all these feelings, all these things that I value, all these things that make you you.
Right.
You got so much uniqueness, and so it can be like that's why I think people really struggle with like, well, what's your unique value proposition? You're like, well, I have all these things coming together that make me.
Right.
And so, but when you talk about corporations, that's easier because now they can kind of craft what they want to be and look like, and they don't have to deal with the human messiness as much.
Right.
And so this brand, Iconic Fox put out this brand archetypes.
Okay.
And I'll show it to you in a second. But what they do here is they're trying to create an understanding or a personality around a brand, so that when it speaks and talks, it has a foundation.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
It absolutely
So let me
does.
show you so let me look at this together, and we'll kind of peek over this on the shoulder. I'll show you the Outlaw first, if you can just look at that one. So the Outlaw is, you know, they believe in revolution. Rules are made to be broken.
Okay.
And so they're disruptive, rebellious, combative. And my favorite Outlaw brand is the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Because you can just see it in the Harley, right? Like, we're bad boys, you know, we're out here, we're out breaking the rules.
Yep.
And so you can think, okay, so the Outlaw brand, when they're going to make a video, when they're going to put out a piece of copy or they're going to write something, you kind of see what they're going to write. You can put yourself in the Outlaw perspective and you can kind of be like, screw the haters and let's go, let's ride and all that stuff. So then you kind of slide over here to the Magician. So the Magician archetype is about it can happen.
Okay.
It's mystical, informed, it's reassuring, tomorrow is brighter than today, Disney. Like you can like, yeah, I know. It's
unicorns.
Like, unicorn is in magic, yeah. So like, you know, and part of what so we're gonna try to find some of these that you resonate with. That's the whole goal, right? So then you have the hero archetype, where there's a will, there's a way. Honest, candid, brave. We can make the world better. We have the grit and determination to do it. Nike. Just do it. Right. The jester. So they're like fun.
Yeah.
Goofy.
Right.
It's not all serious.
Yes.
It's playful, optimistic. You can see like Old Spice, M&M, like these kind of brands that are like, you know, kind of like we're gonna live life, and we're gonna have fun. The everyman, you can think of like Target or IKEA, like everyone's accepted. Like, I'm no better than you, we're all in this together, like come in, get a hug.
This. Yeah.
You know, belong, I'm just like you, and you're just like me. Caregiver, love your neighbor as yourself. Caring, warm, reassuring, everyone deserves care. You know, you got Tom's, UNICEF. They got the Lover brand, right? There's Chanel, Victoria's Secret. It's hard for lenders to fall into that plan, but
yeah, I feel like that would be hard.
There's some maybe. The Ruler is an interesting one. They're elitist, but sometimes it can be more commanding.
Yeah.
Like you probably met people like this. They like take control of the room. Like they don't have to be a bully about it, but they're just like powerful and like but you get Rolex, Mercedes-Benz, Louis Vuitton. You get some elitists like you also can't play with me because I'm too big. The Explorer, Jeep's a great one. North Face, Patagonia. Freedom, don't fence me in. Exciting, fearless, daring. You only get one life. Get out and make it. The Sage, it's like Yoda. This is the guide.
Yep.
You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is Google and Oxford. The education's the path. And there's some education in you that you want to help people understand. You want to give them the path. Innocent brand. I'm not feeling that too much from you, but you can get what they do. Dove.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, optimistic, humble, honest. The Creator. This is Apple, Lego.
Right.
These are the inventors. Right. So now that you kind of looked at all these, which ones naturally kind of like started to be like, oh yeah, there's some of me in this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which ones?
Obviously the magician, right?
What'd you like about the magician?
Well, obviously, just creating that, I'm always thinking of the bright side opposed to the negative. It's always happy endings, I feel like.
You know what else is cool about the magician that I think is really fun for you? There's this idea that something wasn't there and then it was there.
Right.
Like the rabbit in the hat.
Right.
And what you get to do is you get to take somebody who's not a homeowner
Right.
and then do magic.
Yes.
And then become a homeowner.
Yes.
And sometimes like, how the hell did you do this?
Right.
And
that's exactly what we say sometimes. Yes.
how did we do this?
How did we get this done? But we did. Yes.
Which I also like because you'll always get it done type thing.
Right.
And all yeah. So there's some magician. What else? What else did you like have a little bit of connection to?
Definitely, probably the caregiver.
Yeah.
Just because we're always taking care of people, so that was definitely one of them. I don't know. There's the creator is definitely one, but that's probably more so my team. They're really just great of creating things. Definitely not the ruler. So probably the everyman.
Yeah, I got a piece of that in when you were talking about your heart for the, the immigrant or the person who's underserved or the person coming from a hard place, and you have a big heart for those people.
Yes.
And that's caregiver too.
Yeah.
But it's also, you don't see yourself as elite above those people.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
Which
I'm
is
there
cool.
to serve them.
Yeah.
And I would say that the hero is a little, just because of the word the hero, right? We're not a hero. We're, like I said, we're there to serve people, but we also like to come in and save the day on a lot of transactions and figuring out a way. So, the entire team and myself kind of thrive off of that as well. Like someone said no, we're like, really? You said no? We'll figure out a way. We're going to figure it out. And we do. And so that's something that we find pretty cool in what we do. So
cool. All right. So that's a fun little exercise, because I think
Yeah.
it helps kind of just bring some things together and try to see some things clearly. So let's try to land the ship here a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of feed you back some of the stuff I wrote down, so that you can kind of let it kind of wash over you a little bit and start to call out like what are the core most important things in all of this as you're just distilling it down. So you said that your past clients would call you passionate, educational, that you would help them be prepared, equip them, that you're positive. I wrote down energetic and enthusiastic. You always work it out.
Yeah.
That you absolutely love the challenge and creating homeowners.
Right.
Really like working with the first-time home buyers and the immigrants and the people from the other countries. Your values, you wrote down honesty, empathy, team. I wrote down empathy because it just was pouring out of you.
Yeah.
Teamwork, gratitude.
Yeah.
Unicorn has been positive. Unicorn has been here all the time.
Yeah.
Constant, impactful, there for them, thoughtful. Generational wealth, you really
I do.
got alive, or like this started to connect. And then back to education, about we really want people to understand
We do.
how this all works.
Correct.
So let's distill this down. What amongst all those starts to be come out first on top of your head?
Oh gosh.
Because it's a lot, right? And you can be all those things. So I'm not saying you have to eliminate those things. I'm just saying
I know.
What stands out as a hierarchy or what's most Melissa?
Probably the empathetic and caring of the person and their family and their financial needs.
Yeah.
And definitely energetic. I feel like that always gets people, it's infectious.
Well, it's like a can-do positive energy,
It
right?
is.
And then they feed on it. And
They do.
And they're like, I can do it. And you're like,
Yeah.
yes. So it's a belief in
Yes,
others.
you can.
Yes.
Got you. Yeah. And definitely educational. Did I say that already? I did,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's education for sure.
So I think as we kind of wrap this down a little bit, as we look at these things, and I'll put some thought to it, and we'll come up with some sentences and some things about it. But the reason we're doing this exercise is because when we want, clearly you have a goal to impact as many people as possible.
We do. do.
Like you can feel it. Like you want to impact as many people as possible. And there's a really simple equation to achieve that. It's how many people know you, and the more people that know you, you get more chance to impact more people.
Right.
And then through that how many people know you thing, it's how many people like you, because sadly for some of us, like me, like not everybody likes everybody. Like I'm not for everybody, and it's hard, but it's true. And then though,
It's hard to believe, honestly.
shut up. Thank you. But my point is, after people go through this know you, like you, the last one is do they trust you?
Right.
And that trust allows them to call you and breaks down the barriers and work with you and try to believe with you.
Right.
And so really the goal of marketing is to expand all those circles. Like how can we get more people to know you? How can we help you stand on your own authentic self so that they can decide if they're really going to like you. So you're not chameleoning, you're not pretending, you don't have a mask on, it's really you.
Right.
And through that builds that trust and your ability to impact others. So when we talk about filming content or making scripts or a tagline or a banner or whatever we do, it's always got to come back to this purpose. Like of who you are and why you do what you do.
Right.
And because people lose that.
Yeah.
They forget that. How many times do you see people on social media that drive you nuts?
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of times we have the same reaction to it. It's because they're inauthentic.
Yes.
Or they're there for themselves, not for others. And we're immediately turned off because humans can feel that.
Right.
So that's what we're gonna do the rest of the day. We're gonna do a social media audit next.
Oh,
it's gonna be great.
It's brutal.
It's gonna be amazing. But it's gonna be a great day.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Let's rock.
All right.
Magic effects, and we're here.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So, first of all, you did a killer job in the first thing.
Oh.
Yeah, we got so much good information.
Okay.
Awesome stuff. And
Thank
so
you.
one of the things why we jump into this now is we want to see what's translating.
Okay.
Meaning the things that are most important to you, the things that make you, the things that you hold true and you hold a ton of value to.
Okay.
Can somebody see that when they bump into you on these virtual platforms?
Probably not.
Well, that's what we want to see. Because, again, remember, this whole thing is the know you, like you, trust you game.
Right.
And if all those things that you are really passionate about and care about aren't translating, then we got to figure out, okay, well, let's make them translate.
Right.
So that other people could see it. And that's,
I agree.
by the way, that's part of the toxicity and the problem of social is everyone just fakes it.
Right.
Meaning everyone's like perfect life, like the Instagram life. Everyone's like, everything's amazing. And it's like, we know it's not.
Right.
Like, so
no.
stop.
Yeah.
All right, so we just got to go, the first thing we got to do is we got to Google you.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sure you've never done this. You've never Googled
No,
yourself. Oh,
I have not. No, I don't think we have.
You've never Googled yourself?
No.
Okay, so I just typed in your name. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Wait, there you are.
Oh, that's amazing.
The kitchen wrangler.
Yeah.
So there's another Melissa Guerra who is the kitchen wrangler.
Okay.
And apparently Tex-Mex cheese enchiladas. She's Wild Horse Desert of Texas. So she's a foodie and she cooks, and this is her.
I mean, that would be kind of like my thing, though, too.
But this is what's funny about this. So this is the first time that she has a TEDx talk. Like this gal's everywhere.
Okay.
This is the funny, like, for nerds out there, like the Highlander reference. Like there can only be one.
Right.
When somebody's looking you up, they're finding the kitchen wrangler.
Okay.
So that's not like a slant. Like, that's not a big deal. They're just like, you want them to find you.
Right.
You want to find a kitchen wrangler.
Right.
So you're going to have to figure out how to compete for kitchen wrangler time, and we'll talk about that. There's ways to do this. But when I typed in your name and mortgage, now we got you.
Okay.
Now you get a lot of high fives from me on this.
Okay.
So there's no hate.
Okay.
So and for everyone listening, like, you just please pay freaking attention, because look at Melissa's Google reviews and Google page. This is exactly what I tell everybody to do.
Okay.
So it's beautiful.
Okay.
Meaning when someone looks for you, they find a Google page, it's professional, they have your phone numbers, they have reviews, you have 57 reviews, which is fantastic. Google's the #1 search engine in the world. You should be just like this on here.
Okay.
Now, ticky-tack stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The photos. You should upload a lot more photos.
Got it.
And the first one should be you or your team.
Okay.
Right? Like, I shouldn't have to, I don't want to see the building necessarily. I know it's Google business, but like, that's not as fun.
Right.
So super ticky-tack.
Okay.
Like, honestly, this is crushing.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay.
So then we got Loan Depot coming up at #1. That's Loan Depot's SEO and all that fun stuff. Zillow, Facebook, LinkedIn, Experience, Redfin. Okay, so you're everywhere, which is like, so you get high fives. Like, this is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. Now, there's no videos here,
All right.
and we'll talk about that, because the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube.
Right.
Which is owned by Google.
Right.
Which pulls in videos.
Okay.
So that's gonna be an opportunity. But everything's here really good.
Okay.
So you
good.
get an A+.
All right.
Like, well, an A. A+ would be videos. A is super good.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay. Let's go to LinkedIn. So, good stuff. You have a custom banner.
Okay.
I love it. It's great. It's not just, so like, you know me, I'm Mr. Loan Depot. Like, I'm there, but like, people want to connect with people.
Right. I
And
agree.
so the fact that you've got the banner and this and the team, it's great. You're getting huge plus marks for that. All right? Now, forget activity for a second. There's no bio. Where's your bio? Girl, there's no bio. So we're going to work on that.
Okay.
You need a bio.
Perfect.
If someone clicks on this and they're like, well, who's Melissa?
Yeah, they don't know.
You should tell them, right?
Yeah,
so I got a
absolutely.
little bit of you.
Okay.
This looks fun. The banner
Okay.
looks fun. Like, so I'm like,
Okay.
okay, Melissa's fun. She's got colors. She's very professional. Looks good.
Okay.
So pass. We gotta have a bio.
Okay.
Down here. This is a very, very easy opportunity.
Okay.
But you can talk about what you do here.
Okay.
Yeah, you get to actually describe, like, what do you do? What's it like? Who are you? Which you have so many good things to say. You've done so many. Like, you're not just a branch manager at Loan Depot. Like,
Right.
you're not.
No,
Like,
I get it. Yeah, absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna mess with that.
Okay.
Let's look at your post. Let's see what you're posting.
Oh, I don't post anything.
Well, that's not true.
Well.
There's 6 months ago you posted.
Okay.
So, and then there's some CE stuff. So we need you to come alive.
Okay. Yeah.
Because right now-
I really don't post on here, which
I
is
know.
probably part of the reason.
It's really an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, so again, when we talk about like all this stuff, all we're gonna be talking about is what's available to you.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, well, I'm gonna get to the punchline on that later. Just hang tight. Facebook. Cute.
Okay, I changed that because of you.
Just before this,
I didn't have that. No. Before, no. When I talked to you on the phone.
Okay.
Remember, you were like, "What the hell is this about?" Like, you need to, So I did it.
okay, well, we'll work on this. I like this banner, except I want to get to know you more. Just like, so that's
Damn
like,
it.
You're close though. Because look how good this is. This is
Okay.
totally like, I get personality, Melissa.
See, I'm getting hot.
Oh, stop it.
Like, seriously, go.
Okay, so this is, so by the way, cute photo.
Okay.
And definitely you.
Yes.
So like some people have photos.
Me and my
that
hubby,
They're not
yeah.
really them, right? You look at it, you're like, that's not
Oh
you.
no, I
But
don't
this is
use any
definitely you.
enhancers.
No, I know, you're great.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
So no intro though. No, I want to know how cool you are.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll work on that.
Okay.
But now, from the post perspective, we got some posts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those.
May 9th. Yep. This is super cool.
Yep.
Like, this is the best thing of all time, by the way. You're getting a shout out for. I mean,
Right.
This is like.
Yeah.
Anytime you could get a post from somebody, this is the best. So I'm just giving you
I
high
do
fives.
love it. I do love it.
You should. Okay, so I'm not seeing much from you though. Oh yeah, a little bit. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing you.
Well, I reply on there.
I know. We'll get there.
Damn it.
And then we got your business page, right?
Yeah.
So same profile shot. You get points for that.
Okay.
We'll talk more about this. I don't get to know you much here, but this. So this is a winner.
See, ladies.
Now this is a winner. Now, I don't know if the audio is playing. It's not playing for us, but they'll pick
Okay.
it up. It's so cute.
Right?
And it's great.
I thought it was a good
And,
idea.
and it's a great idea. And so we're going to do a lot more of those.
Okay.
And your team's going to do a lot more video, and they're going to be really stoked.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It's like, you see how excited they are to do work? So there's a little work for here, but we'll work on this. Pretty good.
Okay.
Instagram. Okay. You have a link tree, which is great.
Okay.
And so we'll talk about that. But here's and you started a podcast. I'm so proud of you. We're going to talk about this. This is so
Okay.
good. I listened to it.
You
It's fantastic.
did?
It's fantastic.
Really?
Yes. Really, really good.
Because I was so nervous.
Audio is very clear. We're going to talk about your podcast in a second.
Okay.
But where the downside on this stuff is, I'm not getting enough to know about you. I'm not getting you.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I love the Loan Depot post, meaning this. Like,
Yeah.
it's 1%. This is a great product. Amazing. But the opportunity here is not to post this. The opportunity here is to maybe green screen this with you
Okay.
talking about it.
Okay.
So I can really get to know you And so there's a theme here, right? Like I need more Melissa.
Okay.
If people are going to decide if they like you or trust you,
Yeah.
they got to get more of you.
Right. I agree.
And the really good news on this, just to take a step back for a second and a pause, there's normally when we talk to people about putting out more content,
Yeah.
there's all these like insecurities or fears or irrational stuff pouring in. And people are like, well, I don't want to post too much because I get annoyed by people who post all the time. And we got to cut through that and just realize that people form relationships over time through connection and interaction.
Okay.
And so we need them to form that relationship with you.
Agree.
If they don't like you, then they're idiots. But also, you know what they do? They just go away.
Yeah.
So
that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like they just stop following you, or they mute you, and you don't know. So there's no actual pain. There's no actual rejection. There's no actual like, screw you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of disappear.
Right.
And those aren't the people you want to work with anyway.
Right. No, I wouldn't. So that you're right.
I mean, you would serve everybody, but
I would, but if they don't, feel comfortable.
if they're not here for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, opportunity there. YouTube, baby. We're gonna get there. First of all, huge head start. You have a huge head start. You actually have a YouTube page. You've got 3 videos on it. I just subscribed.
Okay.
So I'm your 5th subscriber. And we're gonna rock this. You have your podcast in here. You've got the teaser and the experience. I only saw the teaser. I didn't watch the whole experience.
Okay. Yeah.
5 minutes with your team.
I know.
Okay. But I also found on YouTube a dead profile.
Oh, okay.
So we'll clean that up for you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm most excited to talk about this. TikTok, baby. Okay, so again, you're super far ahead of people who aren't even playing. So I'm giving you huge props. Huge props. In fact, you notice this one has almost 2,500 views.
Right.
This one down here had 3,000 views. This one, 3,100.
Yeah.
2,000, 2,000. These are legit views. I mean, I tell people anything over 2,000 views, like you're doing it.
Right.
So we'll talk strategy.
Okay.
We'll talk strategy. You're already doing it. But how often are you posting on all these platforms?
Not enough.
But what do you think it is? Do you know?
Oh gosh.
Is it just more organic? Like, I need to post on their TikTok. What do you do?
It's more organic. It's just like, hey, let's get this information out, and then we do it. I don't consciously think about it, which I should be.
Okay. We'll play with that. Here's your link tree.
Okay.
We'll clean it up. I love it. Great start.
Okay.
It's a great place to have like a landing page like this where people can access different areas. So this is really great.
Okay.
And then of course your podcast.
Yeah. I
love it.
So I have another one that I'm going to do, but I've recorded 2 more, but I'm not super happy with them. So, but I thought the first one was okay.
I thought it was really good, and we'll talk about. So in the social media world, right? Like going back here, looking at this, like so much stuff, it can be really overwhelming.
Right.
It's like, well, what do I do? Where do I go? Which one do I focus on? And these people just spewing out, right? Like with like very little strategy, very little. They're like, oh, someone told me, Alec Hanson told me to post. I post every day, and they haven't done the work to find their foundation. They don't know who they really want to be yet. They're just kind of like, or even worse, they're finding people who are doing things they really like, and they're just going, well, who's hired you to do that? I'm going to hire them, and then all of a sudden they're doing video with paid video, and you can't even see their soul. Like you can't. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
You're just like a talking head.
Okay, I don't want to be that.
Well, you won't be.
Yeah.
You won't be.
Yeah.
So, my team will come through. They're going to help with some banners. They're going to help with some stuff. We're going to do photos in a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to help buff out your bio, all the fun stuff, because when someone bumps into you on any of these platforms, which you already have a great head start, we want all of them to just really hit them in the face with who is Melissa, why are you here, who are you trying to serve. It's almost like fishing to a degree.
Okay.
You ever fish?
No, I don't have the patience.
I'm not at all. But I'll tell you the analogy that I think works for this.
Okay.
For fishermen, there's different lures for different fish.
Okay.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah,
like
it does.
Different types of bait, different lures, and you use different things for different fish.
Right.
So if you think about social media and content as fishing, you're going to want to make sure that the stuff you're putting out is attracting the kind of people that you want.
Right. Okay.
And that's where the consistency and that's where all that stuff starts to play in, because now it starts pulling that same group together. Some people just describe it as like having you describe or define your perfect avatar. Like, what's the perfect client? What do they look like? What's their life experience? What are they going through? What are they afraid of? What do they need? And then it's like, now we start to drive that in. And we're going to get into that in content creation.
Okay.
So, really, really good first step. You're so far ahead of so many people in this space.
That
so
makes
far
me feel
ahead.
a little better.
Yeah, honestly, all we're going to do is we're going to tighten the messaging across the platforms.
Okay.
We're going to make sure that you have a bio. We're going to make sure you have pinned posts, like the first post they see. Like on YouTube right here, you have a really good one. This is a pinned post, right?
Yeah.
So like as soon as you get in here, it's like, bam, first video.
Right.
We're going to have that kind of stuff across all the platforms.
Perfect.
So that when someone just bumps into you, because here's what's going to happen over time. It's not about going viral.
Right.
I mean, it might happen. It just does. It's just not a thing that like we focus on. What we're focusing on is telling a story.
Right.
We're focused on when people Google you, because they're like, who are you?
Yeah.
We want this story to talk about your heart, to talk about your passion, to talk about what you really care about.
I agree. Yeah.
And then your customers will see it and be like, oh, that's who I'm talking to on the phone right now.
Right. No, that's true. That's my authenticity coming through. Correct.
So, honestly, you really killed it. We are going to build a strategy in the afternoon on how to actually step into this and get consistent.
Okay.
And really push through it. And then your voice is going to sing, and everyone that bumps into you is going to be stoked to come work with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
See, this wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
You did good.
I felt like you were kind of precursing for like, you're going to slam me. Like, you're so great. You had that in the beginning, and then be like, bam, you're going to hit me.
Crap sandwich, like,
yeah,
good.
pretty much.
Just
And then,
kidding.
yeah, like, hey, I'm setting you up because I'm going to pound on you in about 2 seconds. So, okay, wasn't so bad.
You ready to go?
I am.
All right, we're going to do a photo
I'm excited.
photo shoot now.
Shoot.
Here we go.
Okay.
Let's do it. Bam. Graphics. How's the photo shoot? Wardrobe change, you're back?
Yeah.
Feeling ready to go?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
So before we get into making content, we're almost there. We're almost like turning the camera on and getting crazy.
Okay.
Kudos again for having all your social media in a really good place.
Okay.
I can't wait to show you what the team does, but you're already cranking it. I wrote down something for you.
Okay.
As kind of like a jumping point for maybe how you view your purpose.
Okay.
So, creating generational wealth through homeownership, education, empathy, and positivity. I think there's a play there. We'll keep working on it.
Okay.
But the education, the positivity, the empathy, and the care for others in order to want to change them is something that I just keeps resonating like through your personality.
Right.
So, and you're a lot of fun. So we got to figure out how to put more fun into this world. All right. So we're going to talk about your marketing strategy.
Okay.
So, as we kind of talked about in the morning, you have been doing this a long time.
Right.
And people, when I sit down with professionals who have been doing this a long time,
Yeah.
you almost like don't know what you don't know. Like you do things because you've been doing them for so long.
Right.
That when we start asking questions, it's like, well, yeah, how do I do that? And you're like, how do I? And you're so successful that it just becomes kind of this weird thing. So I'm going to break this down into 3 areas for help.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to talk about. Let's do the easy one first. Partners and past clients.
Okay.
So you have a strategy or a process in order to work with your realtor partners and your past clients.
Right.
Right. So in terms of like marketing or prospecting or whatever you do, tell me what you do.
So with my realtor partners, they're my friends. I mean, we become friends. Obviously, I get to know them and their family, and then also their goals and what they want to do in the real estate space. And we come up with a plan to make those happen. And so we meet regularly for breakfast. We always break bread because I really believe in that. I don't believe in coffee.
How often per week do you think you're having breaking bread?
Every week. But not with the same ones. You know, usually, with everyone, some people are so busy, we only get out a few times a year.
Okay.
But no, we pretty much break bread whenever we get together.
So are you having, would you say that with all the partners you have, that every week you're having at least one?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So it's 1 to 2 a week with various agents?
Right, and then multiple calls in a day. Like I do a lot of just kind of recalibrating us.
How many
daily.
agents would you say you're working with, like, full-time? Oh. It's hard to say.
It is, because the market's been so tough. So
yeah, it's always
it's
shifting,
been, this is just a lot. I mean, there's a lot of agents, but it's a struggle right now for them. So
so let's say it a different way, or let's tackle this from a different way. So you're having food in some capacity with agents 1 to twice a week.
Yep.
You're having, do you have a number of calls you're making per day to agents, or is it more organic?
It's very organic.
So it's just like, I haven't talked to so-and-so in a while?
Yes, I give them a call, we chat, I check in, find out what's going on, what I can do to help, and then also let them know about products. But I always call to talk about new products. Like, that's a phone call.
Yeah.
Always, 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 but more so just to check in too.
And are these the agents you work with, or are these agents you're prospecting?
Both.
Okay. So if you had to guess, how many calls a week?
A lot.
Is it either like by day? Do you have like a goal by day?
No, I don't have a goal. I just do it. Like, I
Okay.
just do it wherever I'm at. I'm in the car.
You and Phil,
calling.
though.
Yeah, I'm just kind of a thing. So I mean, I would say probably at least 15 to 20 a week. I'm
Okay.
talking to regularly, and it shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not more.
And when you going back to breaking bread, are you initiating those?
Yes.
So you're like, so tell me if I got this right, but kind of in your call process, you're like, should we get lunch next week? You're kind of like, is that when you put in the?
Oh yeah, like, hey, let's get together and
Yeah.
let's chat about all this, and
Yeah.
then. But again, that conversation then when we are together is like 40%, 50% work, and then the rest is
Relational.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Okay, so, but all this is organic. There's no like, I call 20 times a day. Like,
No, I don't do that.
okay.
I mean, I need to probably do that,
No,
but
no,
I don't
I'm not,
do that.
I'm not putting that on you. I'm
Okay,
just
I don't
understanding.
normally. I don't normally do 20 calls a day.
Okay. But it's
right.
But you have this level of work going on all the time. Okay.
Right? No, for sure.
All right. Past clients.
Yes.
What's your strategy with past clients today?
So we obviously do the mailings. We
No, don't jump over that. What do you mean? What does that mean? Once a month?
like mailings. Yeah, we have mailings that go out to them. We have emails that go out to them. I do spontaneous things of like for a holiday we send out these little skeletons and so like a cute little saying. But I wait until everybody does everything at closing. I don't do that. So I have custom signs made and they're delivered about a month to 6 weeks out. It's another contact with my customer.
What's
after.
the sign say?
We make sure what family name they want on it. It says welcome and it's their family and it goes on their front porch. And I actually have it delivered on their front porch and set up for them. And then on the back of it has my name and number so that they
Remember.
remember it's me on the back. But I do that just because it's, the closing is always great, but it's also after closing of just like, how's it going? How's the house? Like, just got pictures yesterday of somebody doing their garden and they were sending me
Cute.
pictures. So, I mean, that's the kind of cool stuff I get.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I do that.
Love it. Anything else you do?
We reach out to them when they can refi. We do it by phone.
Yeah, but that's more like if the market's there,
Right,
right?
if the market's there, but just check-ins, see how they're doing.
Okay, so how often are you doing check-ins, or is that more organic?
It's more organic.
Yeah, I like
It's not
you. I
really
got you.
scheduled.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. I do so much. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might come up as we talk through
Okay.
this. You'll get more. Do you do anything with local events or local get-togethers or gatherings or anything in that world?
So yeah, I mean, we do like the backpacks for children
Is that a
in
charity?
deprived areas. Yeah, and it's actually just calling their schools, like in Streeter. It's a smaller community here.
How often is that? Is that
Once a year,
once a
for schools. Yeah, to help them with their backpacks and their school supplies.
Cute. I love that.
So there's that. No, I mean, we do women events, have to do with cancer, single mothers, things like that.
But
And then we could
that-
get better in this area, though, to be honest.
Well, so this is fun. We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we can get
But-
so much better.
And it's really about kind of how much time everyone has. I mean,
Right.
you're all busy. But,
Yeah.
So the women events, is that like just like stuff in the community? Then you
Yes,
join
just
a part
community,
of it.
yes.
Okay. You're not running it and
No.
bringing it together. You're
No, I
joining
am
up.
not.
Okay, cool. All right, and then let's talk social. So what's your plan? Organic?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's perfect.
Nothing's scripted for me, but probably should be. But
well, no. So, and we just saw your posts, and you have more posts than most people. So,
Okay.
like, I've done some people that have never posted in their life.
yeah.
You know, Phil Iosa. Oh, I love you. I'm just kidding. So,
Don't do that.
no, he's fine. We'll bleep that out.
He's gonna be like Melissa Guerra, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I don't plan anything. I don't even script anything that I do on social media. Actually, I just fly.
You are exactly like a lot of really successful people, meaning you've worked so hard over the course of your career that now you get to kind of, I'm going to say cruise, it's not the right word.
I was gonna say coast, but that's great. We're on the same.
Autopilot,
Yeah.
because you have good relationships with
Yeah,
agents.
I agree.
So it's like, do you want more? Sure, but I have good ones.
Right.
And are your customers connected to you? Yeah, like we do this, like they're connected to you.
Yeah.
So the opportunity or the thought process is going from organic to strategic.
Right.
And that's like you baby step into that as much as you want. And by the way, this is not a slant on anybody, but like certain people and their personalities, it's like they're not going to do that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they can't be insanely successful in their own strategy.
Yeah.
Like this is not like a one way's better. I think of this as like a way of just kind of like understanding yourself,
Right.
understanding your strengths,
Yeah.
understanding what you want,
Agreed.
and then trying to find if there's a path there to get there.
Yes.
So, I'll give you a personal example. Like, I am the worst person ever when it comes to details. I
Okay.
am terrible. And I know that about myself.
Okay.
So I know that I need to get support and team around me for that,
Right.
or I will be
For sure.
terrible.
Right.
But so you just gotta you gotta understand, and you gotta try to put the pieces together. And you value teamwork. You talked about it a lot.
Right.
And so you clearly understand like leveraging unique skills,
Yes.
coming together,
100%.
better together.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through each of these topics and just kind of explore what strategic could look like.
Okay.
And then you
sounds good.
get to decide what you want to start to play with and implement or not, or any of that stuff.
Okay. Perfect.
So let's start with partners.
Okay.
Do you want more, or do you feel like you have the right number of people? Let's start there.
No, I mean, I think you can always grow, right? You can always
some
grow
people
for
are like,
more.
I don't know if I want more. So
Oh, I totally, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it in terms of growing. Of course, I would welcome that. I like helping people. So to me, it's just more people to help.
yeah, okay, I like that. So here's some thoughts then on organic to strategic.
Okay.
So, do you know the best agents in the market?
I do.
Okay. And are you regularly checking everyone's production to see kind of who's up and coming and who's doing what?
I do.
Okay, so you're crushing that. So, a couple thoughts then. One way to get a little more strategic on this and leveraging the relationships you have is probably something you're doing already.
Okay.
Which is talking to the agents you currently work with and being like, hey, hook me up with so-and-so, or refer me to so-and-so, or get me do you know Johnny? Can you put me on a text with Johnny?
Yeah.
Are you doing some of that organically?
No.
Okay. So this is a
Because
great...
they normally just refer me, and then the person calls, and then we just
Oh, no, I'm not
connect.
talking to customers. I'm talking to other agents.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the agents.
Okay, so they're already...
I'm like, no, I'm talking about the agents. No, they know.
So here's a thought every quarter you could play with.
Yeah.
Every quarter, when you normally do, you can pull everybody's numbers.
Right.
You can look at, my MTA, my Market 360, and you can go, okay, here's the agents I don't work with that seem like good people.
Right.
Like, you kind of look them up a little, creep on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, are they good people? Who are they connected to? Who do they know? And then when you do your calls, you can do the old, hey, I need you to introduce me to so-and-so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's just-
could. I could. I know it's
So I'm just throwing it out there.
completely out of my comfort zone, but I totally am open to that.
Well, so let me give you some feedback on that or thoughts on that. So you're a delightful human being, and I guarantee you that the people that you're partners with, you even
Yeah.
said it, we've become friends.
Right. We are.
So you're not pure business relationship with these people.
I'm not.
You're not, and you even said. And by the way, you should. I'm down. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
This is great. So you have an actual relationship with these people.
Right.
There's a place that I'll give you a story. I don't know if this is going to line up for you, but
Okay.
back in my glory days, one of the best agents in the market would never show up to any open houses or previews. The guy was a ghost. I actually didn't think he was real. And every time I'd go into the open house to try to hunt this guy down, there was this guy named Rod Sudbeck. And
Okay.
Rod Sudbeck used to be a male model,
Okay.
turned buyer side agent, and he sat in this guy's office.
Awesome.
In all his open
Okay.
houses.
Yeah.
So obviously every time I walk in there, it's Rod. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Rod, what's up? And so after, 4 or 5 months, whatever it was, of just seeing Rod every time,
Right.
we had enough like rapport and like goofiness where I
Yeah.
could be like, so are you really this other guy? Like,
Yeah.
I think you're him.
Right,
Because
right.
that doesn't exist. I
Right.
can't see, there's no pictures of him. And
wow.
we were able to kind of like start bullshitting a little bit.
Yeah.
To the part where I was like, can you get me a meeting with this guy? Is he real? And it was enough of a relationship where he was like, yeah, okay, dude. Like, and we were kind of like bros. And he's like, yeah, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come by on Tuesday and come see me and I'll introduce you.
Right.
And I was like, thank you, frickin' finally.
Yeah.
So, but we had that level of rapport where it wasn't weird. I didn't come off as desperate.
Right.
I didn't come off as cheesy or inauthentic.
Yes.
And so I bet with some of your people, you have relationships enough where you could be like,
I do.
hey.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can even approach it with, hey, this guy Mikey in your office looks to be killing it.
Yeah.
Is this guy any good?
Right.
Is he a scumbag? And then, no, Mikey's great. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
hello?
Like, hook me up.
Like, let's go get drinks. Like, let's go get food. Like,
Yeah.
what can you like?
Right.
So
I agree.
when you're strategic, though, you're not waiting for the organic part of this to happen. You're
Right.
like, every quarter, I'm going to ask for 3 of these things, or whatever number you pick out.
I agree.
And
I agree.
And then you kind of put it on the board and you tell your team and like, hey, I'm doing this, and then they'll give you crap if you haven't done it, and you kind of just put some accountability around you. So it's just a thought.
Yeah, no, I love it. I actually do love it. I just don't.
But your personality is so great, and like your partners love you. It's way better than going to an open house cold and like walking in there and being like, hey, I want to meet you. Oh my God. So you have the street cred.
Yeah.
You should use it.
I know. I do. I need to.
And I'll tell you the truth. You're helping so many of these agents, performing miracles,
I know.
closing loans. I'm not saying they owe you. That's not fair. I know you're in a partnership.
Right.
But like, they want you to win. They want to help you too.
Right. I know they do.
Okay. So just throwing it out there.
All right.
Okay. On local,
Okay.
do you have fun?
Yes.
Do you like having fun?
Of course.
Do you go out? What does fun mean? Do you go to events? Do you go to things, to concerts, movies? What's fun?
Definitely not movies.
Okay.
But definitely going to listen to music
Music.
or
Okay.
really just relaxing and swimming and boating
Chilling?
and
Okay,
surfing
boating.
and
I
all
like
of that.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
Water chill.
Water
time.
chill.
Okay, I like this.
Was a really good mezcal margarita.
Okay, thank you.
Air bourbon.
Mezcal.
And or bourbon.
I just got into mezcal.
Wait, you did?
I just did.
What? You're so late. I feel like
I feel like there's another word you substituted there.
I was really
You heard
trying
it.
to be kind right now about that.
I'm
'cause
working
it's-
on it.
I know it's so
I'm
good
a
though.
bourbon guy, so I'm.
Oh no,
I'm-
I love bourbon.
Okay. So
I just had a Banana Foster bourbon drink that was amazing, by the way. But go ahead.
any charities you're deeply involved in, or anything that you think about that you're like, I always should do this and I never do it.
No, not
Okay,
really.
you mentioned women's things, so I'll put that.
Well, yeah. Well, that is.
I mean, you have a heart for that.
I do.
I know.
I do.
So here's some thoughts.
Okay.
Some of the best marketing
Yeah.
has just been community building stuff.
Right. I
Where,
know that. Yeah.
Right? Like
It is.
Where it's not about the flyer drop off or whatever,
No.
or the social media video, which are all good.
Right,
You know, Mr.
right.
Social Media Video.
I know.
But like some of the best marketing is just bringing people together and
Yes.
doing something cool.
Yeah. I agree.
So I would tell you that one of the biggest opportunities in your local market is for you to figure out how to do that in a way that's really fun for you.
Right.
So, a mezcal tasting event, something
I would
on the
agree with
water,
that. Yes.
something with music,
Right.
Something. Now we talked charity for a minute, but like something where maybe you could pull in a charity,
Yeah.
and be like, we're raising money for this. Come hang out, and like now you get to go invite all your agents,
Right.
All the agents you don't know,
Yes.
all your clients, and even if they don't come,
Yeah.
they're like, Melissa was pretty rad. Look what she did.
Yeah.
She invited me. I couldn't go this time, but it
Right.
was amazing. And
Yeah.
you get to go do something you actually enjoy
I enjoy
doing.
doing. I agree with you. Yeah.
And I think it's, I actually think that this should be an every 90 days thing, but like
Yeah.
maybe that's too much. Maybe it's just
That's
a
a
once
lot.
a year or twice a year
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
But then it has such huge compound effect.
Right.
Because now
No,
you
it
can
does.
talk about it for 6 months coming up to it.
Yeah.
Like you can invite people. You can.
Agreed.
And so, how many loan officers have you ever heard like need an excuse to call? Like I'm just needing an excuse to call an agent. I don't have a reason to call them.
Right.
You have a prequel? Like it feels lame. But then you could be like, hey, we're gonna try like this new bourbon from this place, and then or we're going to the lake, or we're going to here. We're doing this. Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that as a marketing strategy,
right,
if you could figure out something that met those boxes,
yes.
and I'll send you a write-up after all this, so you can kind of be
Perfect.
like, let me
yeah, no,
refresh
that'll
what I
be
said.
great.
I think you win.
No, you do. And Alec came up with a really good something that we had talked about doing, and which is, having people, our past customers who all are entrepreneurs,
yes.
and bringing them to a space where we would have like a band, and then they would be able to promote their business or in any like little booths, if you will. And create like a taco truck and have that all there. And so she really had an amazing idea with that. And so we get busy and we're grinding, and then we kind of put it to the side, which we really shouldn't. We should really bring it to the forefront and make it happen.
So this is where I feel like you're tapping onto something that everybody struggles with.
Right.
Which is, I prospect and market to get loans.
Yeah.
And then I get loans.
Right.
And then I get really busy. So I stop prospecting
You do.
and marketing.
It's true.
I know 100% it's true.
1,000%
And then my pipeline's low. I prospect and market again.
And then you go up, and
and
it's so annoying. We were just talking about this. We're like, it's insane.
It's literally everybody. But the opportunity here is not. I don't believe the world looks like this with marketing and growth.
Yeah.
I think it looks like this. Meaning, you kind of do some cool stuff,
yep.
and then you plateau a little bit,
yeah.
and then you slide down a little bit, and then you get consistent again,
That's
and you
true.
go higher, and you put more systems in place.
Yes.
So it's this
peaks and valleys.
Yeah,
Sure.
if you're good, like I did this. I got to hang out with Barrett Ketchian to do this stuff, and Barrett has these breakthroughs in where he was like, I was stuck at 60 million,
Yeah.
and then I got up here, and
Right.
I was stuck here, and then I got up here.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what growth is all about.
It is.
And so lots of this stuff with marketing and prospecting and has to be so like foundationally critical, which is so hard to do, but so like it cannot, it has to have such a level of importance
Yeah.
that it's non-negotiable, but it's really
Agreed.
hard. And so
Yeah.
your job, as you look at what you want to accomplish and how the things you want to affect, is what systems and tools and people can you continue to surround yourself with so that you can do the non-negotiables.
Right.
And it's
Right.
hard,
No,
which is why
no.
not many people get to levels of success like that you've already achieved, but people are looking at you and going, how do I get there?
Right.
And you're, but it's all up to you.
Yeah.
And so just the fun part about this business planning, marketing planning, is we don't have to do any of it yet. We can
Right.
just put cool ideas on the board. Like
We got to make it happen, though.
Yes, you do.
We got to make it happen. So.
Yes, you do. But like this band networking event, entrepreneurs it's a gold mine.
Yeah.
You start involving local businesses. You could be bringing together hundreds of people. that
Right.
aren't even
I agree.
clients.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
do.
it's
It's something we need to do for sure.
It's a great idea. So I'm going to put that one down.
That's Ada.
Let's talk. She gets the credit.
She gets all the credit.
Yes. Now she has to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk social media now. Same thing,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So, one of the things that stood out to me in your social, which is your opportunity, was that you're not connected to enough people.
Yeah.
Because the more people you're connected to, the
Right.
more they see it, the more they do all this stuff. So I'm going to give you one strategy that we can talk about,
Okay.
and then we can try to figure out how to implement.
Okay.
But it's called ICE: Identify, Connect, and Engage.
Okay.
So have you ever heard me say this before?
Yes,
Okay,
I have.
perfect. So you didn't have to listen to me again then.
I like it. No, it's good.
You know.
It's good. It's great.
So this is where you need to leverage your team too,
Okay.
because you can't do this on your own.
Right.
But you have a big past client database. How many are in there about? If you had to guess.
A lot.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah,
plus years.
yeah. I mean, but obviously we lost
I know.
some
Yeah,
data,
it all
but
happens.
it's probably 15,000 or more, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
What an opportunity, though.
I
Like,
know.
that's
That's
just
what
like a
I've
gold
said.
mine.
I've told them that. I
Yeah.
know.
So, like, for example,
agree.
you got that list, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say we'll add another 100 top agents to it.
Okay.
There's probably 100 that in the market that are worth it. Some are probably jerks and not worth it, but they're in the top 100.
Right.
And they all should know that you're a badass. Like they all should just know, right? Like whether they work with you or not, they should all know you're a badass. Is that fair?
Yep.
Yeah, because then,
all right.
you know.
I'm a badass. Let's go. All right.
Like you're great at your job. Like, all good.
Okay.
So we have to have a strategic way to get that list, to get you connected to that list on these platforms.
Right.
And it's a pain in the ass. It's a big old pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Now, you can do a lot of things with it. You can pay someone to do it.
Okay.
You can. You can pay someone to say, look, I want you to take this list and I want you to go find them on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I want you to follow all of them and I want you to connect with all of them and give a report back every day. You could pay someone. That's it's fine. You could do it yourself.
Right.
You could use it as a way to, you know how you're making all your calls and touch base with people?
Yeah.
You could call them, immediately hang up, look for them on these
I
platforms.
actually like that. Yeah, I like that.
Now it's like right in your flow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing that.
But what you want to do though is you want to set some kind of objective. You can't just be super organic or else you'll never accomplish it.
Right.
You got to be at least a little like, how many a week are we talking?
Right.
You know, and if you're already making, you're already doing some calls
I'm already
per week.
doing a lot of calls. Yeah.
So it's just
I
like
agree.
you just talk to them, they're just top of mind, that you're just top of mind for them.
Yeah.
Go find them on these platforms, have all the tabs up, and
agree.
go like, you know, whatever. And maybe even just like have someone on your team have all the tabs up, and then you just be like, I just talked to this and this, go find them.
Yeah.
And then you get on the phone again.
True. Good idea.
You know.
Okay.
So that to me is going to kickstart your social because the more velocity you can get around the community there, the more business you're going to get.
Correct.
All right. And then the last part is the E-engage, and we'll talk about your content strategy when we do this in a second.
Okay.
But this is the one thing I want you to know about social. It is acceptable for you to have a high velocity of posts.
Okay.
So how often do you think you should be posting?
Well, I'm assuming once a day.
Sure. It's a lot more than that, but like once a day is a great start.
Wait, stop, really? It's more than once a day?
So check this out. Stay with me on this.
Okay.
And just let it come in and then just wrestle with it. And it's going to be your own call. You get to make this call on what's enough for you, for sure.
Okay.
But you've been on social media before.
Yes.
What are you doing on it? I know you have. What are you doing on social? Just like everybody else. What's everybody doing on social media?
I'm looking at like house things and
you're scrolling.
I'm scrolling all the time.
All the time. Of course you are. You're just going like this and looking at this.
I am.
That's what everyone's doing.
Okay.
Okay, so in a scroll environment where people are just flipping through, let's say you put out a $10,000 video. We bring in crews, makeup, lighting, production, and we spend $10,000 on a video.
Yeah.
Amazing. Make a banging video. How long do you think someone's going to watch it?
Not that
They're
much.
just going to scroll right through it. So we put so much pressure on ourselves for videos, and they should be done well. And there's a separation factor there. That's a thing.
Yeah.
But we also have to understand the platforms and their environments, and we can't give something too much credit when it's not there.
Right.
So these videos are really like almost, in my mind, similar to driving down the freeway past a billboard going 80.
That's true. That's a really good analogy.
You're just going right by it.
You are.
Your eyes are on other things. You're focused, like, see, on social too, like, I know they're kind of a brain dump, kind of like zone out on it, but like, if you're worried about something, if you're thinking about something, if you have stuff to do, and you're like checking social for a minute, those things are still going on in the back of your head.
Yeah.
You might be zoning out a little bit, but you're still like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So it's like driving down the freeway, you're focused on driving, and the billboard goes by.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Yeah. Do you remember it? Kinda. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what social media has done. So I call it micro impressions.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I mean, some people are going to watch it. Some people are going to watch it. Some people are going to watch a few seconds of it.
Yeah.
But most are going to just have a quick shot of Melissa.
Yeah.
And they're going to go right by.
Right. That's true.
So in those micro impressions, though, real shit's happening, and people don't understand this. Like, they're building awareness of you. Mm-hmm. They're seeing you for that second, and when they see you, they're seeing your passion.
Right.
They're seeing your silliness or your excitement.
Yeah.
Or your like they're seeing something there that's going into their subconscious at the minimum.
Right.
And so they're just kind of absorbing parts of Melissa.
Right. That's
So
true.
what do you think happens after one video in 1 month? Nothing. They saw you once,
And that's it.
and that's it. So what happens if they see you once a week on the video?
a little bit
Probably
more.
nothing. Yeah, more than a month,
A little
for
bit
sure.
more, yeah.
Now, what happens if they see you every day?
It's a lot more.
So
I
when
feel
we
like.
talk, yeah, it is. I mean, so when we talk about relationships,
Yeah.
and loan officers are great on this because we're all like, we're relational. We want relationships. We believe in relationships. And
Okay.
I'm like, we do. Relationships are built. How do you think relationships are built?
Through communication.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And be simpler than that.
I can't.
Okay. Well, so like the simpler version of that is like we have to have proximity. Like
Okay, true.
Like right. Like
Yeah.
Communication only occurs if we can actually like are close enough to talk or
Right.
call or whatever. Like that's when
Right.
it can occur.
Yeah.
So you got to have connectivity.
Yeah.
Or else there's nothing.
Right.
So I joke about this all the time, but it's like if you're dating somebody and you're seeing them once a quarter, you know, you're not really progressing the relationship.
Right.
So this is where your opportunity on social is to kind of understand that
Yeah.
and go, okay, I agree with that. So then I need to show up every day,
Right.
or else I'm not building a relationship, because it's like I called you every day and then I disappeared for 6 months.
Pretty
and then
much.
I called you every day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? By the way, that's how realtors, experienced lenders, you called me every day and then you stopped calling me.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I guess you didn't care that much. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's why, from a prioritization perspective, it takes the same level of intention. Because if you really want to grow more relationships, help more people,
Right.
then you're like, well, I need to show up for them,
You do.
or they're never going to see me.
Correct.
So, but by the way, it's super easy to go down that train of thought and understand it. And then execution is where everything.
I was gonna say it's really great understanding.
Thank you for this amazing meeting, because now
awesome.
I'm still not going to do any of this. But this is where, like, think about people that, like, you know, great athletes, great performers,
Right.
great musicians. Like, how did they become great? Well, they worked harder than everybody
Yeah,
else.
they did.
I'm sure they had talent. Definitely
Right.
had talent.
Right.
But like, you hear stories of Kobe Bryant, who would like go to the gym after practice and shoot 1,000 shots. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that.
Amazing.
No one has to do that. So that's your opportunity, though, because the same barriers you have, which is
Right.
like, I'm busy, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
or I haven't learned anything, is the same thing everyone has.
Right.
So the second you go, well, then screw it, I'm just going to figure out how to get it done.
Yeah.
You just start passing everybody else, and, you know, because they're stuck in the same spot you've been stuck in. So it's just food for thought, because
I'm okay with doing it. I guess it's just like, what do I actually put out there in content? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but let's go back
'cause
for a
not
second.
everybody wants to hear about. Okay, yeah, you're right. Over
because
here,
this
yeah,
idea, this band and networking thing is
Yeah.
fire.
Okay. Yeah.
So you know what to do. And by the way, we'll I'm just,
I feel like you just were like a dad to me. Like, you know what to do.
I just dadded you.
You just dadded me.
I'm
And I'm older than
I'm not
you.
mad, I'm just
So you
disappointed.
grandpa'd me? Because I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, how are we going to make this work? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I guess it's just, the other thing is, too, is that I don't always, want to put mortgage-related stuff out there, obviously.
Good.
So,
Let's not do that.
okay. So,
Let's put
like,
out
what would
Melissa
you,
stuff.
okay, but, like,
So
I don't know. What I think is super cool, like, I don't know.
we're going to get right into it when we do content creation.
Like, I need meat. Tell me, like,
Yes,
you know.
so let's do a couple things here.
Okay.
One of your opportunities in your business model for marketing is to continue to move the needle from organic to strategic.
Okay, I
So
do need to do that.
when you're sitting down with your team, when you're talking to mentors or whatever, like, what are the areas where you can move a little more towards strategic? So that realtor thing we talked about, that could be an area. You
Right.
could say, okay, every quarter I'm going to get uncomfortable a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'm going to
I'm okay with that.
find some people that I think I should be working with that look
Yeah.
awesome,
Right.
and I'm going to tap my network to get me a lunch with that person.
Okay,
'Cause-
don't do that, but I will.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just a thought, right?
I am.
That's going from organic to strategic.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to get at least 3 of those lunches,
Yep.
whatever it is.
Yep.
On your local side, throw a micro event. Doesn't have to be a macro event with a
Right. something
full-on
small.
freaking craziness, but you could even do, like, here's a little ones. Take all your past clients that are entrepreneurs and realtors who are also entrepreneurs,
Right.
and be like, we're going to go down and do a tasting, or we're going to hang out at this bar, and we're going to bring in a subject matter expert to talk about blah. Come if you like.
I like that. Yep.
So worst case scenario, it's like you and 4 or 5 people drinking
Right.
with a subject matter expert,
Right.
and that are sharing stories and collaborating.
Yep. I like it.
That's rad. I'd do that on a Tuesday. That sounds amazing.
No, it really does.
Right? And so it's just like, and then if that's the worst case scenario, you also invited all these other people who now think you're awesome.
Right.
Because you were like, you should come. By the way, every time you invite someone to something cool and they say no, guess what happens?
They get envious when they see all
They
this.
get envious.
Media.
They also feel a little bit like they owe you now.
Oh.
You did something for them.
Yeah.
It's just human nature. It's like when you open a door for somebody, right? And they
Yeah.
walk in and there's another door.
Yeah.
They feel obligated to open that door for you. Like,
Right.
only me just goes right through and closes the door. Don't look at me like that. But
You
feel,
do?
Yeah, I'm a sociopath. But my point is, when you do goodwill to others, goodwill
Yeah,
comes back to
I
you.
agree.
Right?
I agree.
So when you do an event and you do a micro event and you just say, we're all going to come together, these mezcal margaritas here are the best, I'm buying the first 2 rounds, and we're having so-and-so come who's going to talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Great. They come, a couple buddies come, and you just hang out like you would normally hang out.
Right,
So
I agree.
you don't have to throw a banger, just bring people together
Right.
and you'll
I like that.
get business.
Yeah.
And then on social, we're going to do this right now. We're going to build a plan on what to post and what to say.
Okay.
But so let's cover a couple pieces of it before we break, since we're already in the midst of it. Obviously, you want people to do loans with you.
Right.
And obviously, I heard you so clearly that you want to educate people, you want to inspire
Right.
people, you want
Right.
to help them understand what they can accomplish,
Yeah.
you want to create generational wealth, like you want all those things for people.
Right.
Which means you're going to have to make content about that stuff.
Right.
Because that's who you want. That's what you want to do, right?
Well, yeah,
I want to
makes
help
sense.
you. I
Right.
got to talk about things that help you.
Right.
So we'll go through there. But on the other side, there's the human side,
Right.
which is just like, what do you like and enjoy?
Correct.
And can you talk about that? And yes, you absolutely can. In fact, like some of the best social media connectors on the planet talk about things outside of their business.
Okay.
So if you're like, here's the hack. People connect with other people with by shared interest.
Yeah.
I like comic books. I'm a huge nerd. So when
Okay.
other people are like, I like comic books too, and I'm like, we're nerds.
Yeah.
And like we have an instant connection.
Right.
Like I grew up playing video games and still play video games today. When I talk to somebody and they go, I play video games, I'm like, we're nerds.
Yeah.
And we can hang out immediately.
Right.
So when you have something that you like and enjoy in the world,
Right.
whether it's women's, like empowering single women or whatever that was, or drinking mezcal margaritas,
Yeah.
there are so many other people that
Right.
love that.
Yeah.
And so you could make content that just says, like, I'm down here at so-and-so's bar, and this is the best mezcal margarita in town.
Yeah.
I challenge anybody to prove there's a better one.
I like that.
That's great. Like, all you're supporting a small business or wherever you're
Right,
at. You're giving,
right.
you're giving them love, so they're like,
Yeah.
cool. You're tagging them, you're shouting them out.
Right.
And then everyone else that sees it is like, oh my gosh, she's having fun. She's just like me. I like margaritas.
Yeah.
And you're creating a human connection.
Right. That makes sense.
Human connection is what creates business.
Right.
People
It
still
does.
do business with people they like, know, and trust.
It's true.
So we will talk about what you can say there.
I like that a
That
lot.
doesn't fall into the me world of social, because that's the
Yeah.
trap.
I know. I agree.
That's the trap. But if you're like shouting out a small business and sharing their margarita,
Right.
and being kind of a cool person in your community, that's not just like, look how cool I am. That's just sharing something cool.
Right.
So there's a way to do it, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
So from organic to strategic and social looks like you're going to commit to X posts per week,
Okay.
and that means it's going to stretch you. It's going to be hard. It's not something you're used to.
Right.
You're going to be like, oh, I got to make this happen. But guess what? I mean, it's just like everything else in life. I guarantee you. Let's say you say I'm going to post 3 times a week, no matter what. No matter what, I post 3 times a week. After you do that for a couple weeks, it's like, well, I can post 4 times a week.
Right.
You build some,
Kind of build.
you get stronger. You get more used to it.
Yeah.
It's not as intimidating or problematic, and it fits more in your
I
thing.
agree. We're confident.
So
for
we got
sure.
a baby step in.
All right.
Are you ready?
I can do it.
Okay, we're gonna go solve the question of what do I say. That's what we're gonna do next.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
You
it.
rock. Bam.
Thank you.
Graphics. All right. We're gonna eliminate the excuse of I don't know what to say. How's that sound?
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So first, we got enough paper. Let's start with mortgage. Can you just write mortgage at the top? Because we're gonna do personal too. Remember we talked personal and mortgage, but put mortgage at the top.
Okay.
All right, so you're on a mission from the Lord to inspire, help, motivate, educate
Yes.
these humans, right? These
Right.
homeowners. Like, see, your writing's good.
It's all right.
So,
go.
Social media is also a snippet world.
Okay.
It's what people call short form content. It's not like YouTube is longer form content. You might go watch 10 minutes on YouTube. On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it's like, give it to me, right?
Yeah.
So let's first identify some of the, write down problems next to mortgage. What are some of the mortgage problems that you solve on a regular basis? And I just want you to write down a topic. TI.
Wait, okay.
Okay, give me some more topics. Just write down a bunch of topics. What else? You deal a lot with first-time home buyers. I heard you say that.
No money.
No money. What are the problems?
Low scores.
Low credit.
Student loans.
That's great. What are the problems they have?
Job history. Social.
When you say social, what do you mean?
Like immigration.
Yeah, great.
Debt to income.
What about it?
They want something they can't afford.
Yep.
I'm sure I could probably think of more, but this is like the, BK. I feel like that goes into
BK.
credit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it, though.
What about co-borrowers? Is that ever a topic?
Yeah.
No?
I mean,
Okay,
not really a big problem.
if-
No,
Okay.
not a big problem. Can you guys think of anything?
Probably structuring.
The structuring of it? Structuring? Like what loan program?
Like problem solving it, yeah, to get it for.
What are some of the problems you gals have faced recently on a file?
No reserves, but that falls under no money.
Okay, that's a good one.
DULP, probably, right? Like our automated finding manual underwrites, right?
That's a confusing topic, isn't it? Manual underwrites.
Oh my gosh.
A person's like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
What are the problems? Anything else stand out?
Can't think of it.
Okay, so let's pause for a sec. So we wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And by we, I mean you, wrote down 11 topics, right?
Us, yeah.
Now, any of these topics have sub-issues, sub-things to talk about.
Well, of course.
So
Yeah.
put a little check mark if there's like multiple topics within that section. Okay? What are they? Just so I want to hear where your head's at.
So for no money down, obviously you still need to have some money, but also like reserves requirements on
Yeah,
particular
so you got
programs.
reserves and you got down
Yeah,
payment,
so you
right?
still have to kind of configure on how to get them into a home
Yep.
needing that.
So kind of draw a line or something and say reserves and say down payment. Just so we can kind of buff it out a little bit. We don't get lost. Yeah.
Okay. Those scores is going to be rates, right? So we have, with lower scores, you have higher interest rates.
Yep.
Right? Also, you do not receive a DU and LP approval typically,
Yep.
unless you have a co-borrower. That's
Yep.
when a co-borrower would come in to help that.
Okay, so write down co-borrower. Just
Okay.
because there's a solution there to some of these that we can make content about.
So I was trying to make you feel better about the co-borrower.
Thank you. Bring it back in. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no problem.
Looking out for me.
Yeah, I really was. So, so with the low scores, obviously with the rates, we sometimes, want to push them there. Also, to get the DPA, the down payment assistance programs, we want to get the scores up. So we do a rapid rescore. So there's a lot with scores that happen.
Okay, let's do another experiment. Write down FHA right here. You do any FHA loans? You ever heard of that?
Really?
So-
What is FHA? What does
Okay.
that stand for?
So write down some unique things about FHA products.
Oh, I love FHA.
Just a micro topic that's unique. Yeah, that's good. 3.5%. FICO,
580.
good. What else is unique?
With minimum.
Yep.
Really, it should be 500, but we're going to go with that.
520. Yep.
579 for 10% down. Manual underwrite is huge. BKs, because you can do Chapter 13 on a manual. Also, foreclosures are only 3 years.
So much knowledge is in this chick's head.
So also student loans now at 0.5% there, where conventional is 1% and then another one's half. And
Can I give you some?
sure, let's go.
MI.
Oh yeah, because it's 0.55. That's amazing.
It's something to understand, right? What kind
Gifts.
of gifts? Thank you. Got me.
Go.
What about fees and closing costs with FHA?
It's the same as any other loan.
I know, but if you think about a first-time home buyer, they don't know what's the right range.
Right.
What are fees?
Right.
can I waive them? Can I shop for them? Like,
Right.
just put down fees as like
Okay.
a macro topic
Okay.
that people are going to be
Yep.
want information on.
Yep.
Appraisal process, is it different? Is it the same?
Right.
Is it more expensive? Is it longer?
It's not.
All good. See, right? There's like
But there's more, I have to appraisal, sorry. Correct, but they're more stringent though than they are on conventional. So they have to have
Important call out.
property has to be in good condition.
that's an important call out, right?
Yep.
Really important call out.
Yeah.
What about now? These are things for consumers,
Right.
And how many of these things are also realtors should know?
Well, I feel like a realtor should know everything.
Perfect. Thank you. Just go ahead and put a little plus on every one of those. Amazing how that worked. Did you guys see that magic? My point is, in this little exercise was, you have a lot of this stuff has dual audiences.
Right.
So you
True.
could make a video for realtors,
Right.
and you can make a video for consumers. And,
Right.
and of course, the topic could be very similar. It could be the same topic.
Yeah.
But you're just talking to a different audience.
Right.
And so now one video becomes two.
Yeah, that
And-
makes sense.
Yeah. And so
Right.
you're just, this is how you kind of continue to pull the content out further. You do any loans for veterans? Do you do any VA loans?
We do.
Great. Why don't you put down VA? Now, we're not going to go through this exercise, but guess what? Do you get it?
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's the
like
same.
the whole thing.
It's
Yeah,
the same thing.
absolutely.
With nuance, because for a vet, there's funding fees, there's different down payments in FHA.
Restrictions, yes, on that
Appraisal's
stuff,
a little
right.
bit different too. So
It
all of a
is.
sudden now you're like bang, 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 bang. It's a
Right.
little bit different. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22. Go to realtors.
Right.
Plus all that.
Right.
Plus double that for realtors if you wanted to.
Right.
Plus another 22 for this. And all of a sudden we're at like 70 pieces of content.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we should time this. Why haven't we been timing this? How long has it been?
Dang it.
4 minutes? Maybe call it 10.
If I would have known I was being timed though, I would have gone faster.
I see. So the cool part about this is, and then every single week and day and month, how many problems are you all solving that are unique and individual?
Right, a lot,
Because
yeah.
humans bring unique individual problems every time.
Right.
And so literally, if you just learned to listen or write down
Right.
all the stuff that's coming through your desk,
Yeah.
this list just keeps growing.
Right.
And put a little line here.
Okay.
Write down just a little line, and another topic would be current events or
Okay.
current market. What are what's crazy and happening in the current market today?
Well, rates is a talk about
Great.
everything.
What else is happening in your market?
Obviously, the whole thing with NAR.
Absolutely. And so we can keep going, right? Like
Right.
inventory is potentially, like
Absolutely.
inventory is an issue. New home builders, what are they doing in the market? So you can have a list of like current things that are happening, like a new down payment program comes out or assistance program comes out. Like
Yeah.
that would be a current. So all of a sudden, if you have a little black book or a wall or something where you just have ideas,
Yeah.
and your team can even come in on it. You can
Yeah.
replace one of these with a whiteboard,
Right.
and just say ideas.
Yeah.
And every time someone solves a problem, they could be like this one.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
you just realize that there is and again, these are all things that you can solve
Right.
for the exact people that you care about.
Yes, agreed.
And the power of this too is you get to repeat it. And here's what I mean. No reserve, no down payment, no money. That's like a universal problem all the time.
Yes.
You make one video on it, you didn't solve it.
No.
The problem still exists, and in fact, as we talked about in there, not everybody just like watches every video.
Right, they don't.
So if which of these are like the big issues, like the big ones you hit all the time? No money, I'm sure,
Oh,
is all the time.
100
Put
low
like a star
scores.
next to it. Put
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big ones that are like always prevalent, always in your face.
Oh, gosh.
BK by chance? I don't know.
No, it's not as, I mean, it
Debt to
is,
income?
but I mean, I just feel like we definitely, I think manual underwrite
Yeah.
is a definite. This is huge because I think a lot of banks really just don't accept manual underwrites,
Yeah.
and we do.
Yeah, and check
which
this
is
out.
huge.
So what happens? A client goes to a bank,
Right,
they get declined.
right.
They think that that's God's word.
Yes,
I got declined.
yes,
So they don't know that you could do the loan.
right.
And
they
just,
don't.
and this is a tragedy. This is actually a big issue. I was just talking about
It
this with
is.
David Smith about VA. Someone goes and gets, someone has an overlay on FHA.
Right,
Even a non-bank.
Yes.
They decline the customer.
Right.
The customer goes, well, crap, I can't buy. And you are sitting here like, no.
I can do the loan.
It's crazy.
Yes, I agree. That's
So
annoying.
this is why we make content though, because someone has to be putting the right narrative into the market.
Yes, I
Someone's
agree.
got to be telling the truth. Someone's got to help people understand, and it's you.
Right.
You get to do this.
So inspiring.
Isn't this cool though?
Yeah, it is really
you
cool.
get, and
I'm like, I'm making a video today.
right now.
Wait, I am.
Well, because you're going to be. Yeah. Well, this is where also. So again, when we get into the filming, you're going to hear me say this a lot. You've got to. Doing content is hard.
Right.
Number one, we get busy. Number two, it's uncomfortable. Number three, we get insecure or weird about it. Like we feel like we're going to get judged. There's all these things that come with it. It's hard to do. Marketing is hard because that all attacks us.
Right.
But if you can just get back to standing on the stuff of what you care about and matters to you, and the fact that there's homeowners out there getting declined for loans they could get, and that's
Crazy.
not right.
Right.
Like that's where you get that power.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm just going to step through this because I'm going to run through a wall for these people because
Right.
they're getting bad information.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you to do this exercise once a month. I'd put it on a Google Drive or whatever your team can contribute to, or put it on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going to keep building it, and you're going to realize not only could you could talk about the no money reserves things every week. You could talk about it every single week.
I really could.
You could, if you really care. If that's what burned inside you, and you're like, people need to know.
Yes.
You could do that every week, and you would still not touch the number of people that you're potentially capable of touching. Like you just wouldn't get to everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's not like that's where people get stuck. Like, I made that video last month. I'm like, make it again, but don't repost it. But like, talk
Do a
about
different
it again.
one. Yeah.
Talk about it
Agreed.
again. And it really helps if you're talking about things you actually care about.
Right. It does.
It really does.
It does.
Okay, so does
Love
this make
that.
sense for the mortgage stuff?
It does, and I love that because I think that where we get caught up is that we're like, we already did that video.
Yes.
And it's already on there, and so
Yes.
then it's like, okay, what can we do next? And it's kind of that thing.
Yes, and I'm going to bifurcate the strategy really quick. So buckle up. So there's social media, and there's YouTube. Now, people throw YouTube in as a social media thing. It kind of is. They have shorts and all that stuff. But really, think of it as consumable content and library content.
Okay.
YouTube, you might actually spend some money and make a really good video on the no money situation.
Okay.
And you might like hire some people, and you might really put some production into it because you want to make a good video that's going to last.
Right.
That you can send to a lot of people over and over again. That you can tell realtors, hey, listen, when you work with me, I have this killer video that I'll send to all your clients about how they don't need any money to buy a home.
Yeah.
And I'll educate them through the whole thing.
Right.
And so you might put that on YouTube and live there for a long time.
Right.
And then you might pick your phone up and be like, we're going to talk about reserves, and it's consumable. Like it's meant to be viewed.
Right.
And then they're not coming back to it.
Right. Okay.
So you can make content that lives for a long time on these other platforms, and you might want to invest time and a strategy into that.
Okay.
But then you can also
to know.
pull the phone up and talk about any of this stuff anytime.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, should we talk personal stuff?
All right, let's go.
Well, you wanted to. You didn't want to be the mortgage lady.
I do. I want to talk personal stuff. Yeah.
So what? Okay. Well, let's just unpack this for 2 minutes. When you said in the last meeting, I don't want to just talk mortgage.
Right.
What were you saying that from? What did you mean? Like, what was causing you to say that?
Because I just feel like that could become stale and not really personable, and then the person isn't really getting to know me.
Yes.
So that's why I was saying I don't want it to just be that, but I think there has to be there's a balance that needs to be had, and I don't know quite what that balance is because yet we're still guarded, kind of, I feel like.
Let me give you some wacky ideas, and then we'll talk about pure personal strategy.
Okay.
So wacky ideas is incorporating things you naturally like and love with mortgage information.
Yeah.
So this is a total random side story, but you'll get it.
Okay.
I know some people that are hilarious because they cook dinner while explaining mortgage stuff.
Okay.
So they're literally talking about the dish they're making and what they're cooking for their family.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about down payment or whatever.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous. It just seems so silly. But you can imagine, honestly, people are super into it because they're like, well, what are you cooking today?
Yeah.
And then I learned something too, and I learned how to make this, and it fits their vibe.
Actually, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, look, it's not cool for everybody. My point is, we're not here for everybody.
Right.
You're here for who you care about.
Right.
So finding ways to bring in some stuff you care about with mortgage is okay too.
Right.
Like I know some people that talk mortgage while on a hike.
Yeah.
They love hiking. They show off different hikes they're on, and they talk about mortgage.
Right.
Okay, it works for them. It feels natural. I don't feel like they're forcing it.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it. I don't connect with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
So there is a place where you can do that kind of stuff. In fact, sometimes with your background, you can put stuff there, pieces of art or things that you like, or little designs or little pieces of coffee mugs or whatever people are into. Okay, that's that. But let's talk pure personal.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a human being that likes other things besides mortgage.
Right?
What are the things you like? Put 'em on the board.
Decorating.
Decorating. I love it. And when you say decorating, be specific. What do you mean by decorating? Because there's different types of decorating. Girls, do you know this? Do you know this about her?
Complete renovation.
So she has a renovation mind.
She redid my whole kitchen.
Okay.
Room.
Write down renovation too.
Her and her husband.
That's so cool.
I really love it.
I do too.
And we're going to come back to this.
love it.
What else do you love?
Well, I really love that because I like doing it on a budget,
Okay,
and I
I'm
like
in.
it for people who are family friendly and like can't afford sometimes like certain things, and they can get it in a budget, and I like helping them do that. That's just my hobby, actually.
Okay. I love
Boating.
Like the beach.
this. Boating. You say she does not like the beach, or she does? The ocean, not the beach?
No, I like both.
Lake sharks.
Lake sharks.
Lake sharks.
You love lake sharks when you were kids.
So boating, I love boating.
Okay.
I love hanging out with my friends and family, right?
Yeah, but what do
Can
you do
I
when
put
you hang
that?
out? What's the hangout? People hang out differently,
We
right?
play
There's,
games.
Like sports families.
Board games. I love games.
Board games.
I love games. Card games, board games.
Okay, so
I
write
am a
down
game
board
person.
games, card games. Did you know this about her?
Oh, they all know this.
Okay. Did you say shopping?
Oh, I do love that.
But like, what about shopping specifically? Do you like to go try stuff on? Do you like to look? Do you like to just hang out with people there?
No,
Do
I
you like buying shit? Like, there's difference.
No, I like buying shit on a deal.
Deals.
Like on a deal.
Shopping and deals. Okay.
Or other people's money.
Oh, that's right.
Other people's money.
I totally persuade everybody else to get like what's amazing. Makeup. I love doing people's hair and makeup.
Okay, right there, hair and makeup.
Cooking.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's just pause on these right now.
Okay.
These are such good ones, and we can go further. How often do you help decorate and renovate with people?
A lot.
A lot. Like, what's a lot?
Like a lot. Like I don't know.
Are you
I
working on a
do
project right now?
4 projects.
4 projects.
Yeah.
Are they all for you?
No.
They're for other people.
4 is for other people, and then there's 1 for me. But yes, so 5. I was just counting.
Do
other
you
people.
ever do renovation loans?
Yes.
I mean, okay. So let me give you I'm like just throw the softball up. Ta-da!
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll go back to mortgage for a second. Put on renovation loans, write down topics. We can do the same thing. But here's some thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're in help to others.
Well, yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
This stuff is super fun, and you could probably like inspire and like share with other people cool stuff. Deals, you're obviously hooking everybody else in here to buy deals, but clearly you like sharing like
I share
cool stuff with
everything.
others. Hair and makeup,
Yeah.
like ideas and strategies and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
You should make a lot of content about this because it doesn't have to be mortgage related. Here's the deal. If I can make this as simple as possible, okay? Do you feel when people on the internet have like what I would call bad intent? I don't mean they're trying to hurt somebody. I just mean maybe they're just talking about how cool they are or how good
Yeah,
they are.
I'm not about that.
You feel me on this?
Yeah.
Like, when you
totally
see it
not.
and you see people who are like, look how cool I am. It's the people that are posting like still shots of themselves
Yeah,
and then
no.
like talking about themselves. Like they're the worst. They just
Yeah.
they're all about. This is not how to win on these platforms.
Right.
But what is how to win is getting a camera and saying, let me tell you how to do this deal, how to renovate this for cheap, for this price, in this budget.
Which I do, which is never on camera.
You're missing
I know.
all of it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I gotta just do it on camera. I know. She's looking at me because she's told me that like 1,000 times.
Oh
I know.
my God, why am I even here? Girls, I don't even know why I'm here. You guys should just tell her what to do.
It doesn't matter.
She doesn't listen.
She doesn't listen. She does. She
I
just
do.
takes
I'm just
time.
really busy, and I don't sleep a lot. I do a lot of like
So-
things on the side. Yeah.
I want you to write down over here, be helpful.
Okay.
When you'd make any type of personal social media posts, okay?
Yeah.
If you're helpful,
Yeah.
you will build goodwill, generate more community, build your business. If you're talking about yourself, you get the opposite effect.
Right.
And so this, to me, is a no-brainer in this space.
Yeah.
You're doing so much cool stuff that could be helpful to other people. that all you have to do is grab a camera. You don't have to do it, don't even do it while you're doing it. Maybe that's just like whatever, but you can always do it at the office.
Right.
And you can just be like, hey, I did this could help you, blah, 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 check it out.
Yeah.
This is a no-brainer. I don't know about boating so much, because that feels like, look at me, I'm on a boat. But
Yeah, I would never do that. By the way, I don't think I've
Yeah, I'm on
ever
a boat.
posted a picture of us boating, like me personally. No, I've never done that.
no. But how many, like, who do you play card games and board games with?
My friends and family.
Your friends and family.
Yeah.
And you have a blast.
So much fun.
So much fun. And so, could other families have that fun? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But do they know all the games you play and why they're fun? Probably not.
No.
Like, I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. I would love to be introduced to new games. I'm always looking for stuff to do to entertain
Yeah.
my kids. Like, that's not Fortnite.
Like Exploding Kittens. Yeah.
We've played Exploding Kittens.
That
It's
is so
super
much fun.
Yes.
Love that game.
So, but like if you posted a game of the week,
Yeah.
or if you just were like, hey, we just played this last night, it's amazing, it's hysterical, or we just finished,
Yeah.
and you just like tell everybody what it is, that's a great post.
Right.
All you're doing is creating human connection.
Yeah, that's
that
a good
helpful?
idea. Yeah, it's very helpful.
So you don't have to be the mortgage lady. Like, you could be this rounded person who does all this other cool stuff that's also
Yeah.
really good at mortgage
Right.
and super knowledgeable, but also is a human that loves all this other stuff. Because guess
Yeah.
what? You're doing loans for other humans
Right.
who love all
Who
this
love
stuff.
this stuff. I know. I get it.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, last thing we're gonna do. We'll use this page so we don't mess up Mary's. This is Mary's stuff. Don't tell her.
Love me.
Just draw a line right here. She's not here today, so we can do whatever we want. We're gonna talk about how to make short form content.
Okay.
Just because we're gonna go over there and start filming in a minute, and I want you to know how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so just to start here, when you're making short content,
Okay.
people need a reason to watch the rest of your video.
Right.
Remember, they're scrolling.
Right.
They need a reason.
Yep.
So you have to give them a reason within the first sentence of you speaking,
Okay.
or else they're going to keep moving.
Right.
Make sense?
Agreed.
So you hear people say like, that's a hook, or whatever. Just call it
Right.
the intro.
Okay.
So write down just intro.
Okay.
So this is like your format.
Yep.
So the intro needs to either give them the answer, warn them of the threat. So it's the solution or the problem.
Okay.
So kind of write down like solution or problem, because this is how you frame up the beginning of these videos.
Okay.
You either tell them what the problem is, so if they're like, oh crap, I have that problem, or you tell them the solution and they're like, oh, I didn't know that was the solution, let me listen to the rest of this.
Yeah.
And so you hit them with that right away. Then the second part of the video is the explanation
Okay.
or the story. So write down like explanation/story. And then the last is the close. You can put down CTA, call to action, but this is your format.
Okay.
So let's pick a topic.
No money down.
No money.
I love that one.
No money. So what is a problem?
They don't have money for a down payment for the 3.5% minimum required down payment.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you were going to start a video with identifying the problem,
Yeah.
what would you say?
Do you not have money for a down payment? That was terrible, right?
No.
You were looking at me
No.
with you can't lie.
Let's do it. Let's flip it, and then we'll come back. This will land for you, and everyone here listening, you'll help on this.
Hear it was terrible, so that she could be like, all right, fine.
No, it wasn't terrible. It was fine. Let's start with a solution.
Okay.
What's the easiest solution to that problem?
Our Access Zero program.
Yes, correct. So what would you say in one sentence to like tell somebody the solution?
That we can give them up to 5% in a repayable second, so
Good.
that they do not need their 3.5% down.
Good.
And part of their closing costs.
Good. So even to make this,
No money down?
that fell into the correct.
Is that what you wanted me to say? No money down?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. No money down.
Yeah. So the solution is you can buy a house with zero down.
Right.
That's the solution. Or you don't need any money to buy a house.
Yes.
That's the solution. So the problem would be similar to what you said. I was not staring at you because you were wrong. I was staring at you because I was trying to come up with my version of it. But the problem in this situation would be, so you think you don't have any money to buy a house.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like the question part of it too.
Yeah. Or I can't believe some people still think they need money, they need a down payment to buy a house.
Right.
So then when you move into the explanation of the story, that's where you can kind of take a breath and say, so now it's like, okay, now that you haven't strolled
Engaged.
past,
Yeah.
look, you gotta understand. People still think you need 20% down to buy a house. It's just
Right.
not true.
Yeah.
With Access Zero, we can give you a second up to 5% cover your closing costs. It's the best product I've seen in the mortgage industry in my time in the game.
It's true.
And then you go to the close. So if you want more information, just talk to me.
Yeah.
Ask questions. I'm here to
Yeah.
help. And that's your 1-minute video.
I
So
like it.
when we look at these topics and we pick one, we're going to do the same thing. So let's say low scores, right? So a solution would be, if you have over a 520, you can probably buy a house.
Yeah.
It's like, oh crap, I didn't think that was possible.
Right.
And then you can go into how that's possible.
Yeah.
Or the problem would be related to like, look, if you've made a lot of mistakes and messed up your credit and you don't think you can buy a house, there's still probably a solution for you.
Yeah. I like that.
So we'll play with all these and find out which ones work best for you. But like other things on problems that like are more extreme, are more like gotchas, and you can figure out your own personal style of this. It would be like, I still can't believe people are making this mistake when buying their first home. You're like, well, what's the mistake?
Yeah.
Thinking you have to put 20% down.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's right for you, but for a lot of Americans, that's a dumb
not.
idea.
Yeah.
And so that's a more
Yes.
of the problem stuff, is calling out this like, you're making a mistake.
Right.
You're like, don't fall into this trap.
Right.
So it's kind of like the warning people, because they're like, oh
Yeah.
crap, what's the trap?
Right.
And you can get really clickbaity with that,
Okay.
where you're like too extreme.
Yeah.
But we'll find what's right for your tone of voice.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
You ready to
love
film
it.
some videos?
Yeah. Let's
We're gonna do it. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Transition effect. You were close though.
I was very close.
Say it, start it again. Go ahead.
Okay. It's a call, as we're here to help you in any way.
Instead of that ending, let's try a different ending. You're back. We're back.
We survived.
Are you
slightly?
just exhausted?
A little bit.
You're feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna kind of wrap up here.
Okay.
Give you some thoughts and kind of just bring it down a level.
Okay.
So just to kind of go through all the craziness, I think you were really easy to talk to in the beginning of the day, because I feel like you have a natural understanding of who you are.
Right.
Like your value set and what you care about, you're able to clearly articulate. Like,
Yeah.
You know why you do what you do, and you're passionate about it, and you're not going anywhere, and you can just see the authenticity that is you. And so I think
Thank
your
you.
opportunity as you play in all this stuff is to just lean more and more into it, because I feel like the more you showcase your personality,
Yeah.
the more that you'll attract in the people that you really want to help.
Right. I agree.
I loved kind of that magician, caregiver, and I wrote down heroic everyman,
Yeah.
because you do take on hard loans. I
Right.
can tell. Your knowledge of FHA, your knowledge of products is deep.
Yeah.
You're working with the people that need you,
Right.
but you don't see yourself as superior to them
No.
and authoritative, just more like in the streets
Right.
helping,
Right.
which is really cool. And then just kind of going through your passion for your brand expression, if you will, like really your personality is just this empathetic, authentic, caring person who really wants to set people positive, who wants to set
Yeah.
people up for success, educate, over-educate, get people comfortable with all that stuff, and put them on a path to generational wealth.
Yes.
So that kind of brand-centric, that brand center is really what's going to power you to do all this craziness.
Right.
So you guys didn't see this part, but we were battling through a video here at the end, and the attempt after the attempt after the attempt. But I'll tell you, the truth that you know, that everyone knows,
Yeah.
is that it's just a skill set.
It is.
It is. It's totally a skill set, and the skill sets require repetition to like build the musculature
Yes.
where you can just be like bang, 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 bang.
Yes.
And so it takes time. But
Yeah.
that's also what, like, you know what makes you really great at loans? The reps you've done.
Right. That's true.
Right? All the problems you solved over
Yeah.
time have made you really good at loans. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So one of the opportunities that I think you can lean into is moving the needle closer to strategic off organic every chance you can.
Right.
I feel like your opportunity to do events locally is like a superpower for
Right.
you. And honestly, you crush videos. You're really good. I know you're so hard on yourself, but you're really good.
Thank you.
We flew through those. Like, you are really good. And the more you put that in, the more you'll reach more people.
Yeah, thanks.
So I'd love to hear from you just what you took from today so far. I mean, I know you're probably just like a little bit overwhelmed, but like.
Well, it's a good overwhelmed, right? Because this was something that needed to happen. Definitely at the end, watching you spit that real quick, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's just blah, 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 but whatever. It was really amazing. So I do know that I could get there if I practice. So that was great. I think that the other thing that I really took away as well is just being consistent.
Yeah.
And also reaching out and doing those things that we've put out there already, you know, the one that I was telling you about the vendors, and it's an idea, but we're just not following through with it because, again, like we've talked about, the way that this industry, we get really busy and then we kind of fall off. And so I definitely don't want to have such peak and valleys. I'd rather be a little bit more consistent, that they're a little bit, mild, if you will. But that was huge. And also being more strategic, because I am all about organic and everything kind of always falling into place and just being natural, and I never want to seem not like I'm authentic. So I think that I need to get out of my space of my head of thinking that that's not being, my authenticity is not coming through if I'm being more strategic.
Yeah.
Which I think is what I've conditioned myself, why I stay the more organic, but I'm really not doing my end goal of reaching the masses. And that's what I want to do. So I need to do it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and it's just more in my face, and I like it. So thank you for everybody who's here for being in my face.
Well, the team's going to do their work now. They're going to dive on your social stuff. They're going to reskin stuff. They're going to edit some content for you. And then we'll set up next steps, which is really then going to be kind of handing this whole strategy over to you and letting you figure out how you want to start stepping into it.
Yeah.
And I know I'll kind of wrap down on this. I know we talked about like how important it is to post every day and all this stuff, which immediately overwhelms everybody.
Right.
Because they're like, oh my God, that's like going to run a marathon and never practicing.
Right.
And so the good news though is that you just get to take baby steps.
Yeah.
And for some time, it might be one video a week. It might be one quarterly call to agents to ask for connections.
Yes.
It might be one event this year.
Right.
But like just baby stepping forward builds that musculature, and all of a sudden it'll be 2 and 3 and 4, and then it'll be just the sky's the limit.
It really will be.
If you want to influence.
Kind of excited, actually.
You should be, because there's this wonderful thing, and you know this because we've been in the business long enough. In the glory days when we didn't have smartphones, we were just relegated to where we could drive.
Right.
And MapQuest printouts and Thomas guides and all that BS. Was like, that was our world, right?
It was.
And we had to find agents by going to, like, there was no MTA, there was no Lissa agents.
No.
Talk to title reps. Who's good?
Yeah.
Wander around like idiots. And now the best encouragement I could give you is that the internet has no geography and no time off.
Right.
So videos you put out can be working for you 24/7 across the country.
Yeah, that's so true.
And your impact can just continue to grow.
Yeah.
And you have an impact worth growing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're awesome. It's been so
much.
fun working with you today.
Likewise.
Can't wait to see all the videos.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
Oh, you better tag me in every one.
Oh my gosh, I will. I'm
all right,
scared.
Let's rock.
All
You're
right.
the best.
Thanks.
Bam.
Thank you.
Exit graphics. Graphics.
Tip of the day.
You may be able to actually buy a home right
I
now.
have $9,000 to get.
Get into home. You can actually use the rental income. Just not true.